My child, listen to me now. Do not scroll away. Do not delay. I am speaking to you in this very moment because I have drawn you here on purpose. This is not random, and it is not just another video in your feed. I am calling your attention because what you have been carrying has reached a turning point. Your test is over today, and I need you to open immediately, not an envelope in your hands, but the door of your heart, the place where you have been holding your breath, the place where you have been fighting tears, the place where you have been wondering if anything will ever change. Stay with me. Do not skip. Do not let distractions steal what I am about to confirm in you. There are moments when I whisper, and there are moments when I speak with urgency because the season is shifting. This is one of those moments. I am telling you now so you won't miss the release by keeping your eyes fixed on the struggle. I am telling you now so you won't keep living like the battle is still happening when the victory has already been decided. I know how long this has felt. I know the weight you've carried in silence, the questions you couldn't answer, the prayers you repeated until your voice went quiet. I saw you waking up with heaviness and still choosing to stand. I saw you trying again after disappointment. I saw you holding on when others could not understand why you kept believing. I saw every sacrifice, every late night thought, every moment you wanted to give up but chose one more step instead. And I tell you, my child, I did not ignore any of it. I was with you in the waiting, with you in the pressure, with you in the uncertainty. You were not forgotten. You were being formed. But hear me clearly, you are not staying in that place. This is not the day to replay what hurt you. This is the day to receive what I am finishing. I am closing what tried to drain you. I am ending what tried to define you. I am bringing you out of the lesson and into the next chapter. And I need you ready, because when the test ends, you must not keep answering questions that no longer belong to you. So I'm asking you right now, respond in faith while you're hearing me. Like this video as a simple yes in your spirit. Comment what you have been believing me for, even if you've been afraid to say it out loud. Share this with 3 people who feel stuck in their own trial, because I use living words to reach hungry hearts. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and stay close, because what I am speaking to you is not a one-time moment. It is a direction for your life. Do not measure this word by how you feel today. Feelings rise and fall, but my timing is steady. You may still feel tired, but tired does not mean defeated. You may still feel uncertain, but uncertainty does not cancel my promise. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be present. Open immediately. Let your spirit breathe again. Let your faith rise again. Because today, I am announcing to you what heaven has already decided. The test is over, and what comes next will make sense of what came before. My child, I want you to hear this slowly and clearly. I see you. I have always seen you, even in the moments when you felt invisible, overlooked, or forgotten. There were days you questioned your worth, nights you lay awake wondering if anyone understood the weight you were carrying. You smiled in front of others while your heart felt heavy, and you stayed strong when you wanted to fall apart. I noticed all of it. Nothing about your struggle escaped my eyes. I know the confusion you felt when answers didn't come the way you expected. I know the fear that whispered to you, telling you that maybe you were doing something wrong, maybe you weren't enough, maybe you missed your chance. I know how waiting stretched your faith and tested your patience. I know how silence felt louder than words. And I know how lonely it felt to keep believing when evidence seemed absent. My child, I was never distant from you in those moments. I was closer than you realized. I saw you pray when you were tired of praying. I saw you hope when disappointment tried to harden your heart. I saw you trust me even when you didn't understand me. It mattered. Every tear you tried to hide, every sigh you released when no one was around, every question you were afraid to ask out loud, I held them all. You were not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You were human and you were loved. There were times you felt delayed, times you felt behind, times you felt like others were moving forward while you stayed stuck. You wondered why it seemed easier for everyone else. You questioned why your path felt heavier, why your lessons felt longer, why your breakthrough felt farther away. Hear me now. Your path was not punishment. It was preparation. And your pace was not failure. It was protection. I also saw the strength you didn't recognize in yourself. I saw resilience grow in you when you thought you were barely surviving. I saw your character deepen, your discernment sharpen, your faith mature. I saw you learn to lean on me instead of your own understanding. Even on days when you felt like you were falling apart, I was holding you together. My child, you are not overlooked in my kingdom. You are not forgotten in my plans. You are not late, and you are not disqualified. You are exactly where I have allowed you to be, and every step has been counted. I know your name. I know your heart. I know your story, including the parts you never shared with anyone. Let this truth settle in you now. You were never alone in the test. I was with you in every moment of doubt, every season of waiting, every quiet act of obedience. I recognize your endurance. I honor your faith. And as you listen to me now, I want you to feel this assurance deeply. You are seen, you are known, and you are cherished. Nothing you endured was unseen, and nothing you became was unnoticed. My child, now that you know I see you, I want to reveal the truth you have been searching for. I want to gently uncover what this test was really about, because misunderstanding the season can cause you to carry guilt, fear, or confusion that was never meant to stay with you. Listen closely, because this truth will free your heart. This test was not a sign of my disappointment in you. It was never proof that you were failing, lacking, or falling behind. The test existed because you were growing. I allowed the pressure not to punish you, but to prepare you. I was not trying to see if you would break. I was shaping you so you would be ready to stand. What felt like resistance was actually refinement. What felt like delay was development. What felt like silence was instruction happening beneath the surface. You believed that if things were hard, it meant something was wrong. But I tell you now, difficulty does not mean absence. Struggle does not mean abandonment. Some lessons can only be learned in the quiet places where faith has no proof and trust has no timeline. In those moments, I was teaching you how to rely on me without needing signs, how to obey me without immediate reward, how to remain faithful even when emotions wavered. There were things I needed to remove from you before I could bring you into what is next. Old fears, unhealthy attachments, misplaced expectations, and false identities could not travel with you into the new season. If I had answered too quickly, you would have received the blessing without the wisdom to sustain it. If I had rescued you too early, you would have escaped the growth meant to protect you later. I was not withholding from you. I was guarding you. I also need you to understand this. The delay was not because you were slow. It was because timing matters. What I am preparing you for involves more than just you. It touches people you haven't met yet, doors you haven't seen yet, and responsibilities you weren't ready to carry before. I work beyond your present view. I see the full picture, not just the moment you're standing in. You questioned whether you heard me correctly at the beginning. You wondered if you misunderstood my direction because the road became difficult. Hear me clearly now. You did not imagine my voice. You did not misstep by trusting me. The hardship did not cancel the calling. It confirmed it. Growth often feels uncomfortable before it feels rewarding. This test also revealed something important within you. It showed you that your faith is deeper than your feelings. It showed you that you can endure more than you thought. It showed you that when everything familiar is stripped away, you still know how to reach for me. That is not weakness. That is maturity. So release the shame. Release the self-blame. Release the thought that you should have been further by now. You are exactly where the lesson ends and the transition begins. The truth is this: the test served its purpose. You are not who you were when it started. And because of that, you are now ready for what comes next. My child, because I love you deeply, I must speak to you with clarity and care in this moment. When a test ends, there is a danger that many do not recognize. It is possible to step into a new season while still thinking, reacting, and expecting like the old one never ended. I do not want that for you. I am guiding you now so you do not carry the weight of survival into a season that was meant for growth and peace. Do not let fear follow you forward. Fear was not your guide in the test, and it cannot be your companion in what comes next. You learned how to stay alert, guarded, and cautious because you had to protect your heart. But now I am asking you to loosen your grip. If you keep expecting loss, you will struggle to recognize blessing. If you keep bracing for disappointment, you will hesitate when opportunity appears. This is not because I will fail you, but because fear can distort your vision. I also warn you not to rush. When pressure lifts, many move too quickly, trying to make up for lost time. They force doors instead of waiting for them to open. They run ahead of my timing because they are tired of waiting. But my child, haste can undo what patience build. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to catch up. I am not behind schedule, and neither are you. Walk with me, not ahead of me. Be careful not to harden your heart. Pain taught you endurance, but it must not teach you distance. If you close yourself off to avoid being hurt again, you will also block the joy I am bringing. Guarding your heart does not mean building walls so high that love cannot reach you. Trust me enough to let healing happen fully, not partially. I also correct this gently. Do not identify yourself by what you survived. The struggle was a chapter, not your name. If you keep introducing yourself through pain, you will limit how you see yourself and how others see you. You are not the broken one, the delayed one, or the forgotten one. You are my child, refined, strengthened, and chosen for more. Another warning I must speak is this: do not return to what I already released you from. Familiar pain can feel safer than unfamiliar peace. But going backward will only reopen wounds I have already begun to heal. Trust that where I am leading you is better, even if it feels new, even if it feels uncertain at first. Let this correction guide you, not frighten you. I am not warning you because something bad is coming. I am warning you because something good is here, and I want you prepared to receive it fully. Adjust your mindset. Line your heart. Release the old ways of thinking that helped you survive but will hinder you from thriving. Stay attentive to my voice. Move when I say move. Rest when I say rest. And remember this, my child: obedience after the test is just as important as faith during it. If you walk with me, you will not miss what I have prepared. My child, come closer and let me speak strength back into you. I know how tired you are, not just in your body, but deep in your spirit. I know how long you have been holding yourself together, how often you had to be strong when you wanted to rest. I know there were days when even breathing felt heavy, But hear me now, you are not empty, and you are not weak. You are still standing because I have been sustaining you every step of the way. You may not feel strong, but strength is not measured by how energetic you feel. Strength is revealed by what you survived without giving up. Look at how far you've come. Look at the moments you thought would break you, yet you are still here, still listening, still open to my voice. It did not happen by chance. I was renewing you in ways you could not see, filling you quietly when you felt drained, steadying you when you felt unsteady. I want you to release the belief that you are barely holding on. You are not barely surviving. You are enduring with grace. Even when your hands felt weak, I was holding you. Even when your faith felt small, it was enough for me to work with. You did not need to be loud, confident, or fearless. You only needed to keep showing up, and you did. That matters deeply to me. Let me remind you of who you are becoming. You are wiser than before. You are more discerning. You are more anchored in truth. The test did not just challenge you, it strengthened your roots. Storms reveal what is deeply planted, and you remained. You did not walk away from me. You did not surrender to bitterness. You did not let disappointment steal your compassion. That is strength, my child. Now I ask you to stop speaking against yourself. Stop calling yourself weak, behind, or broken. Those words do not come from me. I call you resilient. I call you faithful. I call you capable. You may still feel tired, but tired does not mean finished. It means you have been carrying much, and now it is time to let me carry you more. I am breathing fresh strength into you right now. Not rushed strength, not forced motivation, but steady renewal. Strength to take the next step without fear. Strength to trust again without anxiety. Strength to believe that better days are not just possible but prepared. You do not have to figure everything out today. You only have to lean on me today. Rest your heart in this truth. You are not alone in what comes next. I am not sending you forward by yourself. I am walking with you, guiding you, correcting you, and lifting you when you feel tired again. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to hope without fear. You are allowed to move forward without dragging yesterday behind you. Take a deep breath, my child. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart soften. I am with you, and the strength you need for the next season will meet you there, right on time. My child, now listen carefully, because I am speaking promise over you. Not a fragile promise that depends on circumstances, and not a hopeful wish shaped by emotions, but a sure assurance anchored in who I am. What I begin, I complete. What I allow, I redeem. And what I promise, I fulfill in the right time, not a moment too early and never a moment too late. I know you have waited longer than you expected. I know you imagined this season ending differently, sooner, or with clearer signs. But understand this truth: my timing is not slow, and it is never careless. I waited until you were ready to receive without fear, to walk forward without losing yourself, to carry blessing without it becoming a burden. I was not only preparing the outcome, I was preparing you. I promise you this: nothing you endured was wasted. Every delay added wisdom. Every closed door protected you. Every unanswered prayer shaped your discernment. You may not yet see how all the pieces fit together, but you will. There will come a moment when clarity replaces confusion, and peace replaces the questions that once kept you awake at night. When that moment arrives, you will not regret the wait. Trust me when I tell you that what is ahead will require the strength you built in the waiting. The patience you learn will serve you. The humility you develop will guard you. and the faith you practiced in the dark will help you walk confidently in the light. I did not test you to leave you tired. I tested you to leave you equipped. I also promise you that you are not walking into uncertainty alone. I am already where you are going. I have gone before you to make the path secure. I will open doors you do not have to force and close doors you do not need to struggle with. You do not need to control the future. You only need to stay close to me in the present. Let this assurance settle your heart. I have not changed my mind about you. I have not reduced my plans for you. I have not overlooked your faithfulness. If anything, this season has confirmed that you can be trusted with more responsibility, more peace, more purpose, and more impact than you once imagined. You may still feel cautious, and that is understandable. But do not confuse caution with doubt. I am teaching you to trust wisely, not fearfully. Step forward knowing that I am attentive to every detail of your life. I am not asking you to figure everything out. I am asking you to believe that I already have. Hold on to this promise, my child. The same hand that carried you through the test will guide you into the promise. I will not abandon you halfway. I will not lead you into something I cannot sustain you through. My grace will meet you daily. My guidance will be clear when you need it, and my peace will guard your heart as you move forward. Rest in this assurance now. The test is over, and the promise is unfolding. Trust me. I am faithful, and I am with you. My child, this is the moment where listening turns into movement. You have heard my voice. You have received my truth, and now I am inviting you to respond. Not with pressure, not with fear, but with a willing heart. Faith is not passive. It is a choice you make, even when the path ahead is still unfolding. And today I am asking you to choose trust again, deliberately and fully. There is a decision before you, even if it feels quiet. You can step forward carrying the habits of doubt, or you can step forward anchored in faith. You can keep rehearsing what went wrong, or you can prepare your heart for what is about to go right. I will not force you because love never forces, but I am calling you higher, inviting you deeper, and asking you to align your heart with where I am leading you. Let this be the moment you release control. You have been holding on tightly because you were afraid of losing more. But control was never meant to be your burden. Give me the outcome. Give me the timing. Give me the need to understand everything before you move. Obedience often begins before clarity arrives. Trust grows when you take the step even while the road is still forming beneath your feet. I am asking you now to activate your faith through prayer, not long or perfect words, but honest ones. Speak to me openly. Tell me where you are afraid. Tell me where you feel unsure. Tell me where you need courage. I am not distant from your voice. I respond to sincere hearts, not rehearsed sentences. When you speak to me, you are not reminding me of your need. You are reminding yourself of who you belong to. This is also the moment to forgive what held you back. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know then. Forgive others who hurt you while you were growing. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was right. It is saying you will not carry it into the future I am building with you. Release it now, so your hands are free to receive what is next. Choose to believe me over your fears. Choose to move even if your confidence feels small. You do not need great faith. You need honest faith. I can work with willing hearts far more than guarded ones. When you step forward, I will meet you there. When you act in trust, I will multiply what you offer me. This is your activation moment, my child. Not dramatic, not loud, but deeply powerful. Decide to trust me today. Decide to obey even when it stretches you. decide to walk forward without dragging yesterday behind you. I am not asking you to run. I am asking you to move. Take this step with me. I am ready when you are. My child, stay with me just a little longer and let my peace settle deeply within you. This is not an ending filled with uncertainty, but a quiet landing place where your heart can finally rest. You have carried enough questions, enough weight, enough responsibility for one season. Now I invite you to release it into my hands. You do not have to hold everything together anymore. I'm holding you. I want you to remember who walked with you through every step of the test. I was there when you felt strong, and I was there when you felt like giving up. I was there when you understood nothing, and when you thought you understood everything. You were never walking alone, even when it felt that way. And just as I carried you through the testing, I will carry you into the peace that follows it. Do not be afraid of calm after chaos. Sometimes you are so used to noise, struggle, and pressure that peace feels unfamiliar. But peace is not emptiness. Peace is alignment. Peace is knowing you are safe even when you are not striving. Peace is trusting that I am working even when you are resting. Let yourself experience that now. I know your mind may still try to revisit old worries. When that happens, gently remind yourself that those concerns belong to a season that has already passed. You do not need to prepare for what is no longer coming. You do not need to defend yourself against battles that have already ended. I am teaching you to live from trust instead of tension. As you move forward, keep your heart soft. Let gratitude guide you. Gratitude for what you survived, gratitude for what you learned, and gratitude for what is unfolding. Even if you cannot see everything clearly yet, trust that clarity will come step by step. I do not overwhelm my children with the full picture all at once. I lead them daily, lovingly, and faithfully. You may wonder what tomorrow holds. You may wonder how things will look from here. Let me answer you simply. Tomorrow holds me, and that is enough. I am consistent when life feels uncertain. I am faithful when people change. I am steady when emotions rise and fall. Anchor yourself in me, and you will not be shaken. Before you step away, I ask you one final time to seal this moment in faith. If this message touched your heart, like this video as a sign of agreement. Leave a comment sharing what you are trusting me for or what this season has taught you. Share this message with 3 people who are still waiting for reassurance, still wondering if their test will ever end. And stay connected by subscribing, because I will continue to speak to you in moments when you need direction, comfort, and hope. Now go with peace, my child. Walk gently. Breathe deeply. Trust fully. I am proud of you. I am with you, and I am leading you into what comes next. Rest in my love. This chapter is complete, and a new one is opening before you.